Morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, February 22nd. Welcome to the Plant Based Morning Show. As always, we do this show on Instagram and YouTube now. The YouTube URL, if you happen to be on Instagram right now, or if you're a podcast listener, is youtube.com/no meat athlete, all one word. And then you click on the live tab to see us. And it's better. I like it better over there. I think people do who go over there, they tend to stay over there. So check that out. Yeah, we got a good show today. Not a whole lot of crazy news going on, but it should be a fun one. Doug, how are you doing today?
Hey, Matt, good morning. Happy hump day, as you like to say, your favorite way to say it. I'm doing well. I'm excited for another episode.
Good. Glad to hear that. Some regulars are checking in. Steven, whose football team, lost a bad one yesterday against my family's team, Real Madrid. Defeated Liverpool in the Champions League 5-2. It got ugly. Dale Stevens is here, another frequent guest, pretty much all the time guest, which is great. Appreciate that. I see some Instagrammers. I don't yet see Mr. Jeffrey, so that's concerning. Again, I wonder if he really is getting tired of the content.
Maybe so. Steven says that you wasted no time going right for it.
No, I didn't. I mean, really just looking for something to talk about. Not.
Yeah, right.
Lori Stevens, Lucy B, more regulars. Hello, how's it going? Leslie Knight. Leslie Knight going for a trail run right now while she listens.
Oh,
so that's kind of cool. Would you listen to this show or a show like this on a trail run, Doug, or would this ruin it for you?
This is exactly the kind of show I would listen to on a trail run.
Yeah,
because I like to tune things out. You know, like half listen. Like our goal here is to provide a show that you want to listen to, and or 70% listen. What do we say?
I think we said 70, but that's a little high. You don't need 70. You could do
okay. All right, half listen to it, and see that's perfect for me on trail run because I'm thinking about other things. I'm enjoying the nature. I'm getting some laughs here and there from the podcast. So this would be the perfect podcast for me to take on trail run.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see this type. I listen to this type of show on a drive, even though on a drive you actually could pay more attention, usually to the content of something. But I find that this sort of thing passes the time really nicely, which would also make it good for a running type thing for me. Just trying to be distracted.
You were big on. Was it during runs that you would do language learning, or was that like walks and?
Yeah, no, I used to do language learning during runs, and it was interesting because you had to repeat back stuff in one of the programs I was doing, and it kept me running slow enough to be in that zone because you have to be a conversational pace zone. So it was interesting that it actually allowed me to do that. Leslie Knight, who's listening to us, just left the History Chicks for us. I don't know who the History Chicks are. Do you, Doug?
I don't, but I'm honored.
They should have just called it Her Story instead of History. That would have been a much better name for that show. Maybe that was already taken.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. All right, I just had something. Language learning. We're doing Duolingo with, or I'm doing every evening. I'm doing Duolingo with Eliza. For Spanish. Have you used Duolingo? This is not an ad, by the way.
Use a lot of Duolingo.
And it's been really fun, and they don't have like a kid's version, because some of the things you have to like type out the word, and she's learning how to read and write in general in English, and so that kind of stuff is a little challenging, but it has been a really awesome activity to do with a kid, and it's amazing how much she's picking up already. We're on streak day 17, I think.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean they do a great job with the gamification and the whatever it would be, hooking you in, making you keep coming back, addicting you to it in some way, which is great. Good. Yeah, very nice.
Your mom says she left pickleball for the show.
I saw that. I don't know if I would do that. I mean, I would maybe listen to this during pickleball. I wouldn't probably leave for this, but it's okay.
And we can all rest easy because Mr. Jeffrey is in fact
there he is
here with us.
A little bit of a late start over there in Saskatchewan or wherever he is. All right. So, Doug, do you in your Parks and Recreation department that you are the head of in Black Mountain, Is that is there a big pickleball versus tennis players feud? I think we talked about this before, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. It's I think this may be a worldwide phenomenon, or at least a nationwide.
I think it is for sure.
But oh yeah, sharing courts is a big deal between the tennis players and the pickleball players, and then do we build a dedicated pickleball court, or what about resurfacing the tennis courts that need resurfacing? I mean, it's you don't want to go anywhere near that. No.
It's kind of interesting because, like, with skiing and snowboarding, the skiers used to hate the snowboarders, of course, who were just like coming, but the snowboarders were these young punks, and like the pickleballers are older. So like the people who are already there, the incumbents, I think would be aging tennis players, and then now suddenly comes pickleball players who are also older and angry. I don't know, kind of a funny mix there.
It is. It's funny. And then you have the neighborhoods that don't want the pickleballers either, because they're kind of
is it
right?
The ball hitting? Those wooden paddles?
Oh yeah.
Plastic?
And so then you have neighbors who are complaining about the noise from the constant pickleball usage during the day of the little. Sounds
just like a Parks and Rec episode where they have the.
I mean, it kind of is, right? It kind of is.
Yeah. You're not actually involved with the Parks and Rec department, though, right?
I mean, as a council member, I've overseen the budget for the pickle. Good, all
right.
For the Parks department, but no, I'm not actually.
And for the soccer facilities too.
Yeah, that's right.
I know all about that. Cool.
I do. I've been picking your brain about it. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Little known fact. We don't talk about it a lot, that Doug is involved in local government.
No, we don't. But it's true. I haven't put forth the plant-based treaty yet.
No, I know you need to do that. Would you potentially be removed from office for claiming to give medical advice and saying you're an MD and all that stuff on here?
Yeah,
and then legal advice, financial.
A fraud that someone eventually is going to listen to every single episode and find claims that I've made.
That's right. The next election, you're in trouble. They're going to dig up dirt.
All right. It's all going to come back to you. I see what's happening here.
All right. Well, let's put up the question of the day here, so we can get into that, and then we can talk about anything that is related or unrelated. I don't have anything new. I've been testing my 1-rep maxes for the past couple of days, and that's been a nice thing to do in my garage. But otherwise, no real like fitness newses or anything. What about you, Doug? Anything else going on with you as we get this question up?
I just did a pull-up workout, a 10-minute kind of like pull-up thing where I was trying to max out, and then I got a stool to kind of help assist me a little bit. And did that, and it was quite nice. The other thing is that now that it's warming up, the creek is getting warmer, and my cold plunges are not as cold as they used to be. And that's going to be something to think about this winter or this summer, is how I can still get cold.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it still does something for you, even if it's not as cold. I don't know where the line is as to when it stops being effective. But yeah, that is interesting.
All right. So the question of the day. Do you want to set it up? Do you want me to?
Why don't you do it? You set it up.
All right.
Not set it up.
Asking it here on Instagram as well. All right. So the question of the day is around the Plant-Based Morning Show online community that we have been talking about for a while now. We've kind of teased it and kind of thrown it out there to see if people would be interested. Well, Matt and I had a long conversation about it yesterday. We have decided, I guess it wasn't that long. It was kind of a short. We're going to go for it. We're going to actually get this community up and going, so that that everyone who's watching and everyone who's listening on the podcast can have a space to come and interact, share recipes, share things that we're talking. We can share stuff that we're talking about on the show. We can kind of go a little bit deeper into some of the topics, maybe, or share. I don't know. Just have it as a community place, community forum for people to come together and get to know each other and help each other and teach each other and all that stuff. So we want to host it. We've kind of narrowed it down to two places: a Slack channel, or I guess not channel, Slack community, or a Discord community. And they are pretty much the same with the exception of different platforms. But the kind of how it would all flow, I think, is pretty much the same. So we want to know, are you team Slack or team Discord? Or if there is another place that you would rather us host this, we would like to hear that as well. And I'm going to throw this up on an Instagram poll and do that so we can catch anybody who maybe isn't here live. They can chime in. They can, if they listen to this on the podcast, they can go to Instagram and find us there. But if you are here live and you have any thoughts on Discord or Slack, please let us know.
Yes, let us know. I mean, this could be fun. I don't think it will work well in like Facebook or WhatsApp, or I don't even know if Instagram has this sort of function. But I think there needs to be a little bit of organization to it. If it's just one feed, it's just not gonna be what we want it to be.
Right.
You know, like it'd be nice if people can go post a recipe somewhere, for example, right? But that's not going to go well right in the midst of some other conversation. But if it had its own little place where you could put it, that'd be a good thing. So that's why I want to try one of these. I understand like people don't like Discord that much. People don't like Slack that much. I understand it's a lot. And if you've never used them before, it just takes a little bit of getting used to. Whoops, hit the wrong button there. Sorry. I'll put the thing back up. But anyway, so I think it will be good. We don't know for sure that it will last. And honestly, I don't know for sure that there'll be enough people that go to it. I hope they will.
Yeah.
But we're going to do this for, I think we said a month. We're just going to commit to doing it for a month, supporting it for a month, interacting there. It'll be nice because I don't have that much. It's just not that easy for me to get into the Instagram. Like, we get a lot of comments and messages and stuff. And I don't know. I lose track and don't respond to things. But I think in here, we'll do a better job there. But, we're doing it for a month because there's a very real risk of like, it just doesn't work. And that's fine.
Right.
Maybe people will just not use it, or maybe we won't be able to keep up with it. I don't really know. But we're gonna just do it for a month. We'll see how it goes, and it'd be fun. It'd be like if people get to know each other. The reason why we want to do it is because during these shows, people interact a lot and they know each other. And when Mr. Jeffrey doesn't show up, everyone wants to send out a search party. And Steven and Mr. Jeffrey were planning some kind of spin-off show one day. Like all this stuff would be great if this just continued to happen when the show wasn't on, and it also could generate more content for the show, could generate maybe newsletter type content. So I think it could be a fun thing, and we just want to give it a go. So let us know, however you said, Doug, let us know.
Yeah, you can let us know in the comments if you're here live or on Instagram. I'll post a poll after the show about that. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up the 30-day. We are committed to this for 30 days, experimenting, see how it goes, see how this community grows. And just kind of looking at the comments, it seems like, and this is the debate that you and I were having, Matt, yesterday, is it seems like people are voting based on which one they already used, right? So I'm in Slack all day for work. A lot of people are, but many people aren't. And if you're in Slack, then it's easy to do it. But if you're in Discord for other communities, like there are a couple other people in the comments who voted Discord, then of course, that's where you're going to go. Essentially, they're the same platform or similar. I'm sure that they wouldn't say that, but
it'd be nice if you could just bridge them so that one gets mirrored in the other, because they're so similar that like totally could be done. But I'm sure there's some reason why it doesn't, or maybe it's happening already. But anyway, we're not going to figure that out. I'm sure about
that. But there does seem to be something here, so that's good.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting some scratchy audio from you, Doug. I don't know. Hopefully it's not affecting YouTube, although you are blurry in YouTube as well. So I don't know. I forgot to reset my internet again, so I don't know if it's me or not. But anyway, let us know, people, if you're having if you have audio issues, usually jumping over to YouTube is the better bet. YouTube.com/NoMeatAthlete. All right. Well, let's get into some show content. Please let us know that, especially if you're listening to the podcast. Doug, if podcast people are listening, how can they go vote on that thing?
Go to Instagram, go to Plant-Based Morning Show on Instagram, check our stories, and there will be a poll there for the next 24 hours or so. And before we do move on to the weather report, just one more kind of shout out to our sponsor, Complement, who supports the show, allows the show to happen. We are doing a massive kitchen upgrade sweepstakes that was just announced yesterday. If you go to lovecomplement.com, it's all over the place for you to join. The sweepstakes, it is US only, but you can win all kinds of sweet kitchen appliances and cookware and knives and cookbooks and all kinds of great stuff to upgrade your plant-based kitchen. So head over to lovecompliment.com.
Okay. And by the way, I mentioned the podcast people. We always talk to the people who are here live because we see their names and we know them. But I get a lot of messages on Instagram from podcast listeners. So I want to remind you, if you're a podcast person, this community thing absolutely depends on you. This isn't just for this in crowd who comes to the episodes, because it's like 30 people who come to the episodes and probably 12 of them, talk often. So if that's the only people who go over to this community, it's not going to be any good. We need more than that for it to actually work. And so we need the 10 times more people, more than that, 30 times more people who download the podcast. We need them to come as well. We need you to come. We need you to vote on this thing and be part of it. So it'll be a nice way for you to connect as well. If you can't make it to the show in a live setting, you can at least still get to know everybody that way.
All right. Now, off to you, Matt, for the weather report.
All right. The weather report. We've got a little small one today, but nonetheless, it's a good one. Firstly, of interest to Steven, I'm going to skip ahead to part 2 of the weather report. Steven, you probably already know this, that Beyond Meat has announced that they're going to be having 2 new chicken products, burgers and schnitzels, in the Netherlands. Yeah, sorry, I got confused. I combined the 2 stories. They launched actually 3 chicken products: the Beyond Burger Chicken Style, Beyond Schnitzel, and the Beyond Tenders in the Netherlands. They're in a couple of grocery stores, not all locations, but most of them. Breadcrumb coated can be prepared in a frying pan, air fryer, or oven. And instead of just all pea protein, they're actually making it with some fava bean protein, because apparently that is the optimal ingredient to obtain their award-winning chicken style taste and texture. Doug, when I was in several houses ago, 2015, I had a whole freezer full of Beyond Meat products, because some No Meat Athlete reader was the wife of someone at Beyond Meat. I don't know if it was a big wig or just a regular employee, but they just sent us a ton of the stuff, and I didn't really like it very much. I got some Beyond Meat crumbles, and I had grilled chicken strips they were like grilled chicken. And my freezer was full of them. So many that I eventually had to throw some out because I just couldn't eat enough of it.
How am I just now learning this? And we've been talking about Beyond Meat for every day for months now.
Because I didn't think it was a big deal back then, and it really wasn't a big deal. It wasn't in any of the Burger Kings or anything yet. It wasn't like, that's not Beyond. That's impossible. I just thought it was another plant-based meat thing, and it was okay. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as it is now by any means. But anyway, so I've just sort of been under the impression, because I don't really go into the frozen section and get this stuff very much at all. I've been under the impression that Beyond has continued to sell that grilled chicken. Like, that to me was what made them famous before the meat part, the ground meat. Is that wrong? Like, do they not sell grilled chicken strips?
I don't think so. I have not seen that.
Okay. So then they must have had that early on, and then cut it, and then doubled down, tripled down on the ground beef, which kind of became what they were all about. Well, anyway, they're bringing back at least the fried chicken. But did they have fried chicken things like tenders or anything like that? Nuggets? None of that?
They might have nuggets, or they might have nuggets. I know Impossible does. I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, they will in Germany. Speaking of Impossible, though.
Oh, that's not here. That's in Germany. I missed that part.
I'm sorry. That was Netherlands. That's why it was for Steven. Anyway, all mixed up today. But speaking of Impossible and chicken, today they've announced that they've added 3 new additions: spicy chicken nuggets, spicy chicken patties, and Impossible chicken tenders. All of these available in the frozen aisle at select retail locations starting this month, followed by national availability after that. And then food service locations as well. So the plant-based chicken thing, I guess that's maybe the new plant-based beef. If the past couple of years were about that, I mean, I feel like we're kind of onto the seafood now, but I guess the chickens I guess there's room for expansion there.
Yeah, I don't know. Exciting stuff.
Is it?
I don't know. Spicy chicken? Sure. I guess so.
Yeah, I guess it's all right.
I've never really been into like buying pre-spice. Like, I mean, I can't really think of it. Like the chips we have, the tortilla chips, right? The spicy tortilla chips.
You don't want toppings.
I guess so. And then you spice it and season it yourself. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could definitely see myself making a spicy chicken sandwich, but for some reason it would I wouldn't be all that attracted to buying a spicy chicken patty.
Yeah, but that is a category of food. Like I don't know. I think Wendy's used to have like the hot chicken sandwich. It was like a fried chicken patty. There was no sauce on it. It was just like a hot thing. And then there's like Nashville hot chicken patties, and they come and they're just hot. I'm sorry, they're spicy like breaded things without a sauce on them that makes them that way. I have had a vegan one of these recently. I think I got it on my Walmart trip, my only Walmart trip recently. I can't remember the name. It was like the ultimate plant-based patty or something is their brand name. I think it's some other company, but the ultimate whatever was that product's name, and it was like a spicy one. It might have been called a buffalo chicken patty, and it was just a little bit of an orange tint to the breadcrumbs, but just a spicy patty. Pretty good. I think it's good. Wouldn't call it exciting stuff, but it's good.
Fair enough.
All right, so that's our weather report and the stuff we had to cover. Yesterday we wanted to get to this one, we didn't because we talked instead about 20 ways to sleep better, of which I said I was going to do 3 of them. I don't think I did any of them just yet. I was going to order glasses. I was going to cut holes in my cocoon thing, and then I had one more that I can't remember. I'll have to go back to that list. But I did. I was
all prepared to make myself stay awake last night.
Oh yeah.
And but I just fell right asleep. I fell right asleep last night, though. I had no problem.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, I can't remember that third thing, but I'm gonna go look that up. If anyone else knows it, I'd love to hear what it is. All right, but one we didn't get to was gardening. And yesterday was a nice, good, hot, warm weather day. Today is still kind of warm, but it's not sunny at all. So I'm less excited to talk about this as I was yesterday. But anyway, the story, the headline, this is from Best Life Online, who's been really giving us good articles recently. It's how gardening can slash your cancer risk, according to a new study. Doug, you, of course, will be happy to hear this because you are a big gardener, as far as I know.
I am a big gardener. Well, I would say last year we took a step backwards, but we are fired up for it this year. But we have, since moving into this house in maybe 6 years ago, we have invested a lot of time and into our garden, and it has grown. In the beds have continued to grow over the years. So I do love gardening. Yes, very much.
Yes. And it was some sort of write-up of the No Meat Athlete Radio podcast at some point was like, from stories of Matt's home life to Doug's garden adventures. You can find it all on No Meat Athlete Radio.
That's right. That's right. That was our, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, what a selling point. Hear about Doug's garden adventures.
Turns out I'm a famous gardener these days. So
yeah.
No.
All right. So anyway, the investigators of this story, they wanted to know why gardeners always seem to feel better, which I don't know if that was true. They say no matter where you go, people say there's just something about gardening that makes them feel better. Is that true? Have you ever heard people say that? I know people like gardening. I've never heard anyone attribute it to like wellness or anything.
Well, we've attributed wellness.
I mean, we say it's linked to it, and when you look at Blue Zones, for sure, it is. Yeah, I guess right. Wellness is attributed to it, associated for sure. But I don't hear people say gardening. That's my health secret, or that's what makes me feel so great. But apparently, they said here, this person. So they did some work. They looked at it. They took 2 groups of people. I think in Colorado, in Denver and Aurora, Colorado. Took some people who had not gardened in the past 2 years. The whole group they hadn't gardened in this much time. Then half of them were told, I think, don't start gardening, and the other half started working at these community gardens in Denver and Aurora, and they found a bunch of stuff, and then they sort of spun it into this weird headline that gardening prevents cancer, or that gardening reduces cancer risk. But the study didn't actually look at anything like that. It didn't look at cancer outcome or anything like that. It just looks at. It says the people who worked in the community gardens, they ate more fruits and vegetables, and they ate more fiber.
And more fiber,
so, yeah, 1.4 more grams of fiber than the non-gardening group. I guess that's per day. That's not a whole lot of additional fiber, I don't think. Like, doesn't like fruit have like?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like just eating. I don't know how much fiber is in an apple.
I'm gonna guess about 8 to 12 grams. I have no idea.
8 grams in an apple?
I don't know. Is it too much?
I don't know. If that's true, then like this is legit.
I mean, there's probably 30 grams of sugar in there, so I assume there's like a decent amount of fiber to counteract that. You find an answer for us, Doug?
I am looking it up. 4 grams, 4.5 grams.
Okay.
Okay.
So 4.5
So
grams,
if one apple is 4.5 grams, then we could, if fiber is is why people are healthy gardening, just an apple, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, you don't need a garden. You just need to eat a third of an apple each day to get that benefit. But anyway, so they do that. I did say more fruits and vegetables. That's another good thing aside from the fiber alone. They also spent more time outside, or they increased their activity levels by 42 minutes per week. I don't know what that really means though, because like gardening isn't. I mean, it's hard for me to call that exercise. I know some types of it certainly would be. Some days you're doing some serious work.
Yeah.
A lot of it, borderline whether it's exercise or not. I mean, more than like walking, which is okay. Not discounting. It's good, but then they're saying 150 minutes of physical activity is recommended each week, and the community gardeners achieve 28% of this goal in just 2 to 3 weekly visits. So, I mean, a small little benefit there, but I don't know how significant that is.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing: if like you and I, and gardening can be a workout, right? As you're tilling
sure.
or
Some days
hoeing, but you and I probably aren't going to get much additional physical activity from a garden. But if it's someone who's older and maybe more sedentary, doesn't move a lot, if they're down on their knees and they're bent over and they're stretching and doing things like that, it's it'd be equivalent to do like a gentle yoga class or something like that, maybe.
I'm having trouble hearing you, Doug, on YouTube. I don't know, or sorry, Instagram.
Oh no, this is not. Can people hear me on YouTube?
Someone said you were grainy your picture on YouTube earlier. I don't know if the sound is or not, but anyway, I can keep talking. It just won't be quite as good. I can't hear every word, but anyway, so yes, it not a nothing amount of exercise for sure. 42 minutes, and it's something. It's movement. That's a good thing. And then spending more time outside could be good. Could also be bad when you start to think about sun exposure and all that. But in general, I think outside time probably good. And then let's see. I'm losing something among all these troubles we're having. And then there was the time spent with people. But like, I guess my problem, as I've already hinted at, like, first of all, they don't really. They say one of the reasons for these benefits might have something to do with the communal aspect of this gardening. But like, there aren't any benefits yet that they've said that we can now say, okay, well, that's because of the community. Like, they don't say that people were happier or that they were healthier. It does. One part says going further, health benefits were detected just 1 year after study participants picked up gardening. So that's good. At least it's actual health benefits, not just more of things that we think benefit health. Anyway, it sounds to me like someone said, how can we make gardening seem interesting? How can we find a study that's interesting? Let's find something that has a whole bunch of general health effects, and then let's just talk only about the cancer ones, and we'll call it a cancer preventer. Because these are, and this doesn't take away, this actually adds to it. Like, these things are also heart disease preventers and probably depression preventers. Like, this is just a general health well-being improvement by being outside gardening. I will give you that. So it's kind of silly that they just focused on one and assume that all these things, like, help with this one thing only.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing about the communal aspect is, I believe in the study, they gave people plots at a community garden, right? So there was some community involved in that, right? You're with other people, you're probably having community garden meetups and doing all that kind of stuff. If you have a backyard garden, I mean, it is mostly just me in the back weeding by myself, or sometimes with the kids, or
and a podcast on. You can put on something like our podcast, and then it's like you're in a community.
That's true. Put on.
You have the Slack app on your phone and be in the community.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking.
Yeah, I thought about this a little bit too. I like, when I think about gardening, we haven't done it because I have this delusional fantasy that we're going to spend summers like away and longer term travel, which so far soccer has completely prevented. And so we are like reluctant to start a garden because then it'll be neglected for a summer if we just do something for a whole summer. But I do have a generally positive feeling about gardening, and it would be nice to have it. I'm not someone who's going to go get all that dirty and all that stuff, but we eat more healthy food from it and all that. It's a great thing. If I were going to garden, I would never go to a community garden. I mean, just no chance. Maybe not everyone has the luxury of having a garden in their own yard. But I wouldn't want to go overhear other people's conversations and stuff and like have to talk to people. I would just like want to go like garden and enjoy myself in the sun and like, a little meditative sort of thing. So I'm not getting that at all. I don't even know what a community garden is. What do? You go and you work on it, and then you get some of the food.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong like opinion about something. And you don't know what it is. I mean, it's not like there's gonna be hundreds of people hanging out watching your every weed.
It's not even yours. You're just working on stuff, and then someone else might come pick it, and you don't get any.
No. You have your own plot. It's just like it's basically for people who don't have space in their backyard or don't have a backyard or something like that. Don't have a sunny backyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's a large, Black Mountain has a couple of them, and they're fields or raised beds, and you have your 6x4 plot or whatever that you tend to, and the person next to you has their own, and it's just yours. It's just space for you to do it, and but then they also have like some events and trainings and things like that, and you can ask for help for people. I think community gardens are amazing. I think especially in cities and places where gardens aren't as accessible for people. I'm a big proponent of a community garden. But like the reason why I wouldn't do one personally is because, well, A, we have the space in the backyard, but two, like gardening at this point in my life with the kids and my other priorities, usually is something like, oh man, I should just take 10 minutes and go check on stuff. And if I had to drive somewhere, and that 10 minutes turn into an hour, then that would be, I just would probably neglect it more than I would want.
How do you prevent people from stealing your stuff? Like when you're not there, you have to have like.
I think you just have to have a little bit more faith in humanity, I guess. I don't know.
Trust in the community.
Yeah.
There's the tragedy of the commons is a known thing. And this is exactly what this is. You just setting up this thing where you go work on it and then other people reap the benefits.
I mean, I'm sure that happens sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. It's a proven model that is very successful across the world, probably.
Yeah, it is. I think I know community stuff always linked to happiness and things. And I know that like in the Blue Zones, there's Blue Zones of Happiness. There's a mention of some kind of communal living thing where like, I don't know, 42 families or something live in a group and like one cooks every month. You cook one time per month and you just cook for everybody. And then, repeat. And then there's a lot of shared things. I actually could see that being kind of cool. It's like a little neighborhood. So yeah, I get it. It seems it's cool. It's always linked to happiness and health. So that's good. Someone says Dale says, am I a closeted antisocial? I don't know. I don't know if I'm closeted even.
Steven says, I'm not sure it's closeted.
I'm really not that antisocial. Like I just like about half the time not be with people.
I'm probably about the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like
Lucy agrees.
Yes. I feel like you're more of a one-on-one or small group type person. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep, agreed. Lucy B agrees as an introvert, understands that. Jody Shuck says just an introvert. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm an introvert, not antisocial.
Steven says my parents' village has a great little community garden. They share excess produce and teach the kids. Yep. I think lots of times community gardens have some sort of educational piece to it with partnership with schools or partnership with a food bank or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually can understand that more. If it's people who you know, like in your community and you see them, then there's a certain trust level that happens and it makes sense. I was thinking more like you just go to the downtown Charlotte and pay for the community garden access. And then there's going to be 100 people there who I don't know and don't trust. And
I don't think gardeners are the untrustworthy type. That might be putting people in a box. So I don't want to. I'm sure that there are some bad eggs, but
All right. We did mention Fiber. Anne Marie helpfully tells us that Fiber Fueled is $1.99 on Kindle right now.
oh,
So you
sweet.
go check that out. Dr. Will be friend of the company, the show, whatever. And yeah, that Fiber Fueled philosophy I really like. I think it's a great way of eating. The whole thing's about eating more variety of fruits and vegetables. And honestly, like it doesn't get much more nitpicky than that. It's just like eat a whole bunch of these things. You don't need necessarily probiotics or anything. Just go eat a whole lot of fruits and vegetables, different kinds. Good way of eating. Okay.
How often do you eat a vegetable that you haven't had in the last week?
Not that much.
Yeah, like do you have your 10 vegetables or whatever? I'm just throwing a number out that you get every time you go to the grocery store, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, no, not really, because we just get whatever we're cooking that week, so we don't get like stock up on the staples so much. Maybe Aaron does that a little bit for making salads, but it's whatever we're making. So I don't know. But I probably eat 10 in a week. It's probably not much more than that.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. Pretty
And
much.
what are they? Cilantro, bell peppers, avocado, onions,
mushrooms.
What else goes? Squash, probably some sort of
maybe a little squash. Yep.
And then beans, rice,
and then
taco seasoning,
rice and
hot
black
sauce.
Beans. Yep.
Tortillas.
Tortilla chips.
And then you can make all your meals from just those.
Yeah, and then just whip them up. You can do it. You can put it in a wrap. You can put it in a bowl. You can put it on
refry. You can stick together the corn tortillas to the soft tortillas and make a whole new kind of taco.
Yep. The same 5 ingredients, 10 ways.
I actually had tacos last night, by the way.
Oh,
Aaron now and then will make a big batch of beans and she'll refry half of them, or really just kind of mash them up. Maybe she refries them because Holden doesn't like the bean texture. And then get out all the fixins and tomatoes. Forgot tomatoes. Of course you're using tomatoes. Yeah, and then had taco night. So that was kind of good. I like that now and then. How about you, Doug? What did you have for dinner last night?
Let's see. Last night I had a tempeh.
What type of tacos did you have for dinner last
night? I had stir fry, tempeh, pepper, onion, kale. Oh. Maybe a little something else. Brown rice, and I guess that's it. Some
very nice.
Some curry seasoning.
Interesting. I like it. I saw Bianca the other day put on her Instagram something about you. Did you see that? I mean, she credited you with inspiring her to make a tempeh sandwich.
No, I didn't. I need to go look at that.
Yeah, I think she tagged Plant Based Morning Show. That's probably why I saw it. Yeah. Her sandwich looked pretty good, actually. It looked a lot better than whatever you described.
Nice. Just then, or when I described the sandwich, a tempeh sandwich?
Yeah, no, it looked better than when you described the tempeh sandwich. Because when you said it, it didn't sound very good at all. I think you said.
Well, I am sure that whatever she made was probably better than whatever I cooked myself. So.
Right.
Oh, you know what I had the other day? I had more of the plant-based tuna.
Oh yeah.
In a pita pocket or a pita thing, and it just took me back to like elementary school. That would have been something that my mom made me. It would be a tuna sandwich and a pita.
Good. All right.
Yeah, it was very good.
I haven't heard anyone yet talk about the Whole Foods plant-based sushi. Has anyone tried that yet in our audience? I mean, I'm kind of surprised at how little. Not that I really do much browsing of Instagram. I just sort of expected that people would start talking about that, good and bad. I'd expect to hear about it because it just seems like a big thing. Because it's a pretty prominent place to put plant-based fish. It's not like it's hidden in the frozen section. It's fresh in the sushi area. But I just haven't heard anybody talk about it. I'd be very curious to try that.
Yeah, I would be too. Vicky asks, or your mom says she sent you a Dan Buettner talk that said you should eat at least 50 different vegetables per week. I know what you're talking about, or I think I know what you're talking about anyway. I don't know about the talk, but 30 plants per week. Someone else, Lucy B, says that. Yeah, that's something we've talked about at Complement quite a bit and written about. And that really what they're talking about there is all the different plants, right? So not just fruits and vegetables, but every different type of bean or grain or
Right.
even seasoning certain like herbs and stuff like that count as well. Different types of greens.
Mhm.
If you're having a salad with a bunch of different greens, so that's part of the plant diversity that's being discussed there.
Yes, I think in Fiber Fuel actually he gives each recipe a score. I forget what it is, but it's like the plant score, and it's basically about the diversity of plants in that meal. And the more different ones there are, and they have to be in substantial amounts. I think the herbs and spices kind of get like docked for not they don't get full points.
Okay.
But like the number of plants, and I just think it's a really nice guideline because like as
Yeah.
I kind of said, I don't eat all that many in a given week. Maybe when we start counting the different grains and beans and things, it certainly goes up. Uh, but I think it's really easy sometimes to just say like I'm just going to eat whole foods and therefore I will be healthy, and that is probably true. But I like that better than saying like I'm going to eat this many calories and this much grams of protein and fat and carbohydrate. But if instead we just focus on that very easy metric of diversity of plants, uh, and maybe adjusted for this plant score thing, if not the very simple method of just counting one for each. I don't know. It's something you have like a little bit of a guideline that's so easy to keep track of. And it just would take. I eat whole foods, take that to a better level. So I really like that.
I'm gonna give a little shout out to to another compliment thing here while we're talking about it.
Okay.
We created a download, a free download. If you go to compliments, lovecomplement.com, it's called the Gut Health Blueprint, and in it we have this this kind of plant tracker and a foods checklist, and the goal is to get 100 different plants within the week. And you'd be surprised at how many, once you start adding up all the different foods, you'd be surprised at how many you actually have. I'm sorry, the goal is 30, and then there's space for 100 if you take the full challenge. But you'd be surprised at how many are included in that once you start adding them up. But what I found, because I did it when I was working on it, and what I found was that like it was pretty easy to get to like 20, 25. And then you have to really go out of your way to do the rest of them, kind of thing, or whatever that threshold is. Once you start adding them up, it's more than you think, and then you have to start doing more planning to get across the line there.
Right. If I take athletic greens, does that count as like 89 or whatever?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, that seems right. Maybe I'll try to count this one week and see where I get. I think I'd probably be in that range. I bet I'd be at 25. Maybe more.
You should do it. Go to lovecomplement.com and search for that Gut Health Blueprint, and then that'll help you track it.
All right. Well. All right. Good. Whoops. All right. Well, good. We are at time. We stretched this little bit of content into a whole show, Doug. So that's a good thing. Hopefully the news will pick up tomorrow. Every day I'm searching Miyoko news, and there's nothing new yet.
I sent you. Did you see the little video that I sent you? It's not really news, but she had a little video that she put out today, and in it she was talking about something that you kept bringing up when we talked about Miyoko on Monday, and that was that she doesn't want Miyoko's to fail. Like she wants it to succeed and wants it to continue to grow. She's obviously quite against the controversy that's happening right now, but she kept reiterating that the goal shouldn't be for people to turn on the company because we want the company to grow.
Right. Okay. You think her lawyers helped her with that statement?
Possibly either that or she realized that it's in, I don't know. I'm not gonna be cynical at all. So no, I know. I think she understands that it's her baby, as she put it, and she wants to succeed, whether she's the head or not.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. Good.
Do we tease what's happening tomorrow?
Yeah, let's go. Let's just announce it. Not even tease it.
All right. I'm going to be out again tomorrow. Again, I feel like I've been out a lot recently. So I'm sorry for everyone for that, but I'm going to be out tomorrow, but I'm going to be replaced by the next best thing, or maybe a better thing, which is Steven, the frequent guest of the show and frequent European correspondent will be taking my place tomorrow to have a fun show with Matt.
Yeah, That's right. Steven's gonna have to get his YouTube set up good. I think he was on the restream last time. So now that it's YouTube centric or Twitch centric, it'll be a little different experience.
That's right.
But should be good. Yeah, so that will be good. And check out that poll, please. Plant-Based Morning Show Instagram account. Go to that. Vote on the poll. Slack, Discord, or some other one that we don't know about. There very well could be good community platforms. I know there are good community platforms that do stuff. It just, my concern is they're going to be very few people will have used them. I know there are many other things that are not quite as, not as many options, not as flexible as Slack and Discord, which we probably wouldn't need. We probably need something less than they can do. But again, I just don't think there's going to be a lot of people who know them. And at least now we could say 10 people at least understand Slack or Discord. So anyway, just go vote on one of those, or let us know about some other ones. Would love to hear what it is and make this thing happen. I think it would be fun to give it a try and see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty, we will be back tomorrow. Enjoy your Wednesday. And tomorrow's Thursday, which is, as we all know, since I'm always jumping ahead a day or two in the future, not living in the present, Thursday is one of my favorite days.
It'll be my favorite day tomorrow, too. So
yeah, because you're off. That'd be nice.
Well, yeah.
As long as you live in the present. If you get all depressed that you got to be back to work on Friday,
That's
you're
true.
not going to like it.
All right, everybody. We'll see you soon.